to almost block that off, to have a huge...
I've got a slab of granite between the pavement and my front garden path. It's really...
So over the last 2 weekends, we've been trying to invite a group of people who've been through the hub in the first stage of it to join the project team, so that we could expand the number of people who with us were beginning to filter and understand all of the material that had been left in the hub in the first stage of consultation, that over 1,000 people, to really begin to understand, what's coming through, what are the themes, what are the community asking for. But at the same time to begin to understand the site and to begin to understand Totnes. So it's this 3 pieces of the kind of patterns of Totnes, the site, what is the site calling for, and the material in the hub. We invited 20 people to go on a journey with us over 2 weekends to begin to think about how do they come together to begin to come up with a coherent, inspirational brief for the site.
So the aim over these 2 weekends is to take the sort of open-ended engagement information, the stuff that this community fed back, and to sort of understand the sort of key strategic priorities, the things that are absolutely must to have, as it were, for the site, with a view to understanding in the end the sort of layout of the site, the sort of mix of development that takes place on the site, and the sort of the view about how the materials on the site might work, the size of buildings, those sorts of things, basically.
We've been working in a completely different way now to how we normally work. It's been very interesting for us as architects because instead of having a design or preconceived ideas about what we think should be developed on the site, we're being stripping all that back, standing back from the process, but just helping facilitate the community in coming up with their ideas, basically, what they think, what their feelings and thoughts are about the site, what they want to see there and do there, and smell there, all those things, and that's been interpreted into effectively a brief.
I was quite surprised to be invited to join this select group of people. It's been a fascinating weekend. There's been a huge cross-section of people, of Totnes types. We've been led through the ideas that were put forward extremely well. It's been hard work, it's been fascinating, and hopefully there will be something fruitful come out of it at the end for the town to look at.
It's been a fantastic process from lots of different points of view. I think what we'll end up with here for Totnes and the wider communities will be fantastic. I fail to see how it couldn't be, with all of the input and the effort that's gone in before these 2 kind of filtering weekends that we're in at the moment. Just the volume of material and the interest and energy that's around what people want from the site is absolutely fantastic.
It's been exhilarating and exciting, very tiring, and it feels like a huge sense of responsibility to hold everything that people have contributed so far over the last sort of 3 months and longer, but particularly since the centre's been open for, since October. There is so much wealth of ideas here.
They've started to narrow the gap between, I don't think there's anything as such as an ordinary community member, but if you like, as an ordinary community member, they started to narrow the gap between being an ordinary community member and a member of the professional team sort of thing that does this on their day-to-day, day-in, day-out, day jobs sort of thing. And that's what we were trying to achieve here, to actually narrow those gaps, to create a common language, and to find a sort of breadth and depth of work that allows the work to move forward, really.
On the south side of the Leek, bees buzz on the revived historic allotment site as leaf smoke rises.
I've been here last weekend and this weekend. I have found it absolutely creatively inspiring and very exhausting. I've met lots of interesting people with a sort of absolute welter of ideas. Some of them I think are rather fantastical, but others are exciting, and I think a lot of them could be realised.
So my experience of the last 2 weekends has been a mixture of inspiration and hope and possibility. And I've really noticed that sitting alongside that has been a feeling of responsibility, a feeling of wondering, like in terms of the audacious dream, and then the actual reality of, how does that sit, and then how does it sit alongside what we've already got? So how do we feed the town rather than, I wouldn't say take from the town, but so there's a conversation happening.
I'm finding the process fascinating, really exhausting mentally, and very stimulating in every direction, but in a way that is it's fruitful.
We live quite close, so we could walk to these 2 weekends, which have been occupying all our mind space for the whole week in between, and both weekends, Saturday and Sunday, with the most marvellous imagining what could be here, how it could benefit the town, how it could redevelop work, play, housing of innovative designs, or at least taking the best of modern and the best of the old, and making this a lovely place to be in.
Over this last 2 weekends, I have been really inspired and awed by the group process and the facilitation that's led us through organising clusters of information, vast amounts of information, and putting it down into some sort of consensual theme.
I've been here for the last 2 weekends. This is the 4th day of this process. It's been, I've really enjoyed myself. It's been really exciting. It has given me hope for, it's re-engaged me with my community, which is really nice. It's made me feel like a representative of hope, rather than just being grumpy and feeling really powerless.
And the idea, you can see the shape of it, it looks like a hill. It's like a hill garden. So you can actually walk up there and you can sit and enjoy the view of the town, have a cup of coffee, enjoy the sun.
I have found this process really challenging but also really inspiring. From the very beginning we were asked to really kind of get into the mind of not just ourselves and what we wanted from the site, but the whole community, and there's so much that's come from the consultation, and people have drawn plans, people have written what they want, people have written what they need, and what they don't want, of course. So just trying to take all of that on board and process that and hold all of that while going through all these different kinds of processes and activities to think about what could be possible uses for the site and what the town needs. And what amazing, beautiful things could go on here.
So it's been an amazing experience, having lived here and looked onto the site for some years, to get into the site and have some great ideas. And just working with other creative minds that have come up with some pretty amazing ideas. And I really hope that those ideas are taken into the site, and really looking forward to seeing it in the future.
I found the last couple of weekends very inspiring, and I've been delightfully surprised at the common ground that's emerged between all the different perspectives and opinions of these people that are from Totnes and care very much about the site.
I think these 2 weekends have been absolutely phenomenal. I mean, the group have worked incredibly hard. I mean, firstly, hats off to anybody who gives up two full weekends sort of thing to come and do effectively master planning work. But yeah, absolutely brilliant in terms of the volume, the breadth, the depth of work that the group have created, basically.
It's been absolutely amazing. I mean, people have given up, 2 weekends for 6 hours a day, and the whole of the way that the group has connected together has been extraordinary, and the volume of material that's been created is just really incredible.
What's it built of? How does that look and feel? How is it to pass through?
The process has been, really, really impressive. The level of detail that we've been able to get into, the number of hours of people's time that are really giving very detailed thought about what this site could be. And I'm really excited for its future, and it's all going to happen quite quickly now, I think, so that's really fantastic. I can't wait to come down here and enjoy it.
I'm really excited about what will happen next, and I think the way that there seems to be a growing consensus is really exciting as well.
I would love to see some of these ideas come into being, because I think it would make a fantastic resource for Totnes.
So there's been lots and lots of talk, but enormous amount of thinking. And in fact, probably by the end of today, my brain will be completely full and won't take any more.
I like the way it's been managed and drawn together, and different ways of trying to process information, and being able to go onto the site and be in the site different times of day and just feel how the light's moving on the set, and being very aware of it being an opportunity that could actually make a massive difference, complementing the town as opposed to standing by itself, and a real awareness of that one.
It's been a fantastic experience. It's been really great going into the Atmos site. It's been lovely to see around the buildings, and I'm hoping we can make something really good which connects well with the town and the school and everything else.
When it comes to us finally, doing our drawings, our actual, the imagination of the project, then that's going to be effectively a representation of what the community have asked us to do, and in a way what we're doing is acting as a conduit to the public, to the community for this type of project. That, from an architectural point of view, has been a very interesting process, and it's been a very rewarding process in that we're responding directly to what people want, where they want it.
The visions of the site feel very much alive for the future, and I feel very excited to be involved.
There's been such a mix of everything, from eco-building to steel girders to innovation and sharing and growing, and it's a really exciting project, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it moves on from here.
And I think the way in which we've been facilitated has really drawn out the heart of the matter and enabled us to work together in a really quite extraordinary and groundbreaking way. So I feel full of hope for an absolutely extraordinary development here.
If Atmos can... It doesn't walk, Atmos doesn't seem to walk, Atmos seems to run and sprint and leap and dance. If it can do that, as well as the talk, which it does amazingly, then it's going to be something that's going to make me want to live in Totnes for a lot longer, rather than wanting to leave. It's cool. It's been really good, thank you.